Russo's no longer a cripple. What's up everyone, it's Russo. I hope everyone is doing well. I'm being consistent with my vlogs, but I'm still crippled, so I've Collin here. He's actually going to be moving some weight for you guys. You're getting ready for nationals, correct?
3 months, 4 months?
3-4 months, so Collin's a prodigy. How old are you? I already said it last video. Everyone's mad because like apparently I outshined you, so just letting you guys know that Collin is like, these things he influence in games kind of, you know, like bullshit, and we're trying to get him, he deserves a following, right? This is a guy who's going to get his pro card at 21, 22, most likely 21, and that's a big, crazy achievement. Like, he has more muscle than me at like 27, and you already beat, what, 30-year-olds on stage?
With like 20 plus pounds more muscle than I do too.
And your prep was like half-assed.
Yeah.
So like, it's cool to see a genetic anomaly like Collin, so I'm going to just be following along with him. We're going to be doing deadlifts today, so again, all the naysayers who think I'm not healing, I'm going to deadlift for the first time in a year, and we're going to see Collin do volume with over 5 plates, so you can see what a 21-year-old who's about to get his pro card is doing volume-wise.
It's not going to be half-ass training like the last time either.
Yeah, the first time I was pissed because the IG got deleted, and I kind of just like was zoned out. So this is going to be Collin's real training and my like rehabilitation training. So you'll actually not just see crippled me, you'll see some real training from a guy who's going to get his pro card at 21. And then I will be answering all your comments at the end of the video, so be sure to thumbs this up, write a comment, and I will be going through the comments on the last vlog and answering all you guys. That's the way I'm going to roll with this vlog, but I'm just following along with Collin. We're not going to be doing too much talking, and I'll see you guys at the first set.
Following me along today, we're going to start with some lying hamstring curls, probably work up to a top set of 12, 10. We're going to move on to standing, and then some deadlifts. Go. Russo's no longer a cripple.
Dude, I was so nervous on this last.
Oh, dude, that looked clean. I was like, after the first one, I was like, yeah, you're good. It's fine. Hips? I don't put my hips under the weight, I know. Like, when you come in, like, you should be, like, squatting the weight on, you know what I mean? Go on.
About 600, I want to pull like that.
No.
Like you should like yank, no slack. Then go. Instead you pull, and then you put the slack, and then you go.
Let's go, Ryan. Come on. Come on. He's back.
Okay.
that feel? Does that feel? How's that feel, taxing? Still am. Come on. Saucy right now. Am I looking saucy right now? Yeah.
So, what is your plan with social media? Because, you know, the first time everyone's bitching at me like, oh, I put the mic in front and didn't even let you talk. Like, all I'm doing is trying to put Collin on. I want you guys to go follow Collin's IG to encourage him to do a YouTube, because I showed you the posing of him. You saw the age of him, and I can't keep up with him. And if I was completely healthy, I still don't think I would top him. And I have years on him in the gym, so bright future ahead. He's already been, you know, plastered by the judges that, like, you're just like, don't get injured.
Yeah,
and
pretty
you're
much.
good to go.
Yeah.
So, what's your plan for this year as far as content-wise? Because he thinks the influencer game is cringe.
It is.
I'm not.
It is.
I'm not
It's
denying.
cringe. I think 90% of those people in this industry, it's all bullshit. It's all fake.
But like the real guys like you won't do the cloud shit. So some influencer is outpacing you business-wise when you guys are doing the same thing and you have the physique.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping you guys get on them. What did you think of me, you know, at the peak of my disease versus?
Oh, it's night and day. It's
Right
literally
now.
night and day. Like, you're
Just roast me going to like how I was.
no, like, you couldn't even talk. Seriously, like, I'd be talking on the phone, it was like, and now it's like you can speak full sentences. You're not.
Did I fake that for clout?
No.
Did I already have clout before that?
Yes. Plenty of it. And like, he kept up pretty much the entire time today. Like, I was very surprised at what you were able to do, honestly, because the last time we lifted, like, we did like what, 3 or 4 sets, and you were
No, I
toast
couldn't
a
keep
couple
up
months
straight
ago,
up,
and now, yeah. So he's not dead anymore, guys.
And it wasn't fake. It's not like I was lifting with Collin fine off camera and it was all a stunt. I almost died, and yeah, I didn't think I could row 315 today, and I surprised myself. And hopefully, you know, a couple weeks from now, I can keep with Collin directly and we can have it like a more smooth workout. But I really want to see Collin get on his own hustle, because I've been doing this forever.
We'll make it happen.
And these influencers don't have a physique like Collin. Collin's humble, down to earth. He's funny. It takes forever to get on camera and have the persona.
Yeah, this is all new to me, guys. So like, I post posing clips. That's about it. I know I need to get into this realm. So
You need to just do video,
all right.
like 50 videos, and then you'll be talking on camera better than me. And then you gotta think, oh, he was talking on camera for a whole year with fucking brain damage, and I still trended like this. So it's always like the poor bodybuilders I see in Powerhouse, and then these influencers that have no physique or driving the Lambos around, and they're all fitness people. He's the real fitness person to follow. You know, that's what I'm trying to get at. Like these guys in Pittsburgh, you were coached by an IFBB pro who I also think could do social media great.
Oh, dude, he deserves a huge following. I mean, dude's a fucking freak. You're not following him already, go ahead, give him a follow. Danny Costa.
I'll put his at.
He'll probably be in the first call out in the Olympia within the next 2 years. I don't, yeah.
And he has no clout.
No clout at all. That's following to me. I don't know how he has a smaller following than I do, but he is an absolute fucking freak. So make sure to go check him out.
And some twig influencers.
Yeah, yeah.
This is the problem I face, you know. I do the informational shit. I actually had a physique before this happened to me, but I would like to invest in the local scene around here, because we were just talking to IFBB Pro Dion too, and I wish, you know, he's such a humble character. I wish he would
awesome
narrate
guy, yeah.
videos too. And he's like twice the height as us, and he's IFBB Pro and Classic, which is crazy. And it's just like none of you guys make content, at all.
Well, I think it's a little bit of a different mindset. Like I was telling you the one day, like we're also focused on actually competing in that realm of thing. You know what I mean? That's like where our brain is wired to, not the whole content side. Which I understand. I need to get onto that to be.
The game is already broke. 20 years ago, that would be the way.
That's what I mean. Like social media has kind of fucked bodybuilding, I think.
Completely.
Yeah. So
completely.
I'm an old school kind of guy. Like
you can go see his stage pics. Like when you see that crazy edited lighting shit, I didn't put any filters on that or nothing.
Don't use filters. Don't edit. Nothing.
And you'll go and see some influencer who do some like sharpening, and he'll look the same size.
Yeah. So it is what it is.
All right, well, give Collin a follow, and I want him to come. Like, I want the YouTube mesh to happen, you know? Like, I don't want to just keep throwing it on you and you're not outputting. Like, they want to see output from you, and they're going to ride with you for sure. Like, there's no way they won't, because they're tired of cringe shit too. I know they are. And they're like, I want a real follower. Like, I want a real physique that I can follow, and it's not like garbage. Like, I go to Alpha Land and I take a pic, and then I use their codes. They'd rather use your codes because you're going to go all the way. And, you know, you got to put that content in there. So check him out on IG. I'll link his coach, Costa, as well. Real deal. I obviously don't hang around fake-ass influencers when I lift. And in Pittsburgh, there's a bunch of real physiques that don't post shit. All right, guys, I'd sincerely appreciate if you made it this far in the video. That's the closest thing you've ever seen me do in a year, how I used to work out, honestly. Remember, I was building upon this previous vlog where I squatted for the first time. Again, the last time I tried to squat 315, I almost crashed back down. My central nervous system almost completely failed because I couldn't recover. I had to lay down in the bathroom for 2 hours and not move for me to slowly build up an ability to stop shaking and shit. So that was a big workout. I was very emotional, very tooted up after that workout. And that one was even worse with Collin, right? Collin was there in case he had to, you know, pull me out of the gym if I couldn't walk, you know, carry me out type energy, right? And once again, I passed the test, right? 405 deadlift without a belt, multiple reps, followed directly by rowing 315, dead stop, multiple reps. That's the closest thing you've seen me to training like how I normally would train before this all happened to me. And I'm even more tooted up. And this is how this year is going to go. I already know how this year is going to go. I've announced it already on the vlog how this year is going to go. And yeah, I'm just hoping you guys roll with my motivation, my energy this year. If you guys need to feed off that into your own endeavors, this is the type of heat I'm coming back with. And oh man, it's just tough. It's just tough. I want to train constantly. I want to train twice a day. I can't withstand it. But best believe that is what is going through my head. My mind is fully back. The body is lagging behind, and the mind does not give a shit. And the mind does need to give a shit. I do need to still watch the delayed onset of muscle soreness, DOMS. You know, that DOMS was brutal after that workout. That was like 2 days. Me and my girl walked around the zoo yesterday, completely torched my hamstrings even further to try and build up a higher baseline. And this week, you guys are going to see me come in, try and train quads at that level to really try and turn these legs back on. These legs have been super stubborn. I already told you my best body part on my entire body is my legs. I'm 260 pounds walking around. They get depleted the most. And this has been the vicious battle. You guys saw me do this slow volume with 5 plates on hack squat. But overall, my legs do hold the entire day. I can do a full squat at 3 a.m. and still complete the squat without my legs not having enough to uncinch themselves. So big progress, big linear progress. I'm happy, and it's just making me hungry for more, right? So this Q&A is super interactive. I'm going to be doing this every single vlog, so be sure to weigh in. I'm not going to feature everyone, but I do want to have a constant live interaction with my comment section on these vlogs. So if you do leave a comment, it could get read, and it could spark a debate where I weigh in and the whole vlog turns around and could spit something out into the next vlog and comment section. 175 comments. I'm more than ecstatic because this vlog was just me monologuing. It was an interesting monologue, but it really wasn't anything exciting. So I thank you guys so much for stopping in. Let's get started. At a certain point, it becomes unhealthy for you to keep having to revisit just to satiate people who want to try and drag you down and accuse you of faking it. But enjoy seeing your bounce back, bro, and I look forward to seeing you absolutely crush it going forward. Sincerely appreciate it, Nightcrawler. Yeah, it's one of those things where, I don't know, Nightcrawler, if you've been following very closely, but there's a lot of political pressure in this scene of this disease because there needs to be more awareness, as people are lighting you up in the comments about, but also that there is a big group of people that completely deny what happened to me to victims that don't have a voice. And that's like the big thing that had me very tooted up, is that why would me, who already had everything going, I already had a following, very OG following, you guys love me, I already had sponsorships, endorsements, I already had a decent physique for a guy with average genetics, and my content was trending upwards. I had no reason to fake that. The fact that people think I faked that for clout is nonsense. And the fact that people think I cured myself is nonsense. Why would I still, why would I roll with that lie forever? You guys who have been following me forever can see that this is the old me. Go rewind and watch that playlist. Go watch when I'm that bad. How can I fake that? I can't. People don't want other people to know that you can reverse out of that. I'll just say it like that. I've been attacked. I've been pressed, honestly. And it's just been very extreme when I suffered through it. I hopefully inspired hope in victims, I would assume. Not to toot my own horn, not to come off narcissistic, but I definitely think I spark some hope, spark some fire. If you're suffering from that, a little fire and that shit goes a very long fucking way. And that's what my goal was, I feel like I got placed in that. I feel like I was placed in that because I was the wolf that was going to figure it out. I pulled all this data. I pulled all the biohackers, bitched at all of them. Everyone weighed in. I made my Thanos gauntlet, and I built a protocol and information that could help someone in that. And if they're denying all that shit, it's ridiculous. You're literally smearing my achievement, and I don't even want credit for it. It's just the credit to the niche biohacking community that can be figured out before the regular medical community will get to it in 15 years. It's real, everyone. I'm a degreed, licensed, registered nurse. He goes into his story with tramadol to mitigate pain, which is like an SSRI, and he had basically PTSD symptoms, and his dopaminergic response is still quite flat. This is like the thing. If you get that, people will say it's all in your head. Me personally, I knew I had fucking brain damage, right? I knew what it was. I understood what it was. I understood the severity of it, of how it was. I understood that it wasn't going to reverse easily. I also understood that it was going to get worse over time. I understood people suffered from it for 10 to 20 years straight. I was in a hole. I was in fucking hell. And I'm glad that people who are suffering from that, from other things, Accutane, benzo withdrawal, PSS, saw palmetto, ashwagandha, all these things, that they have some inkling of what's going on and why they're not getting better. Because I wasn't getting better until I started pulling the big boys out, and then people got pissed because my protocol became much more dangerous as all the easy shits didn't do anything, right? I'm just going to keep going until I form a way out. We've had other medical professionals weigh in on this, that just because it's dangerous doesn't mean it shouldn't be showcased. And it's been a whole slew of smears and all this bullshit. But at the end of the day, there are 18-year-olds out there who take a pill of Accutane, or take a pill of finasteride, or take a SSRI. They're not spoiled like me. They don't have the resources like me. They don't have the access to all the knowledge like me. They don't have the ability to pull all this puzzle together, fucking realize it's a jigsaw puzzle that's solvable, solve it, right? Those people got hope. Whether they follow my protocol or not, they can see that it can fully reverse. And I'm sure I calmed some people down because I was searching for someone who fully reversed it. I couldn't find them on the internet. I truly feel like me and Jasper are the first two people. And it's just one of those things where I don't want the credit. I want the whole biohacking community to get the credit for that. All the information that I scoured, put it together. That's me showcasing what's in this little niche biohacking community. And that's how I want to say it. But there's been tons of medical professionals like you, man. I sincerely appreciate Robert for weighing in. There's tons of doctors, tons of medical professionals that have acknowledged this is real, and it's out of their caliber currently right now to solve it. And the way I solved it was very ghetto and extreme. and it showcases the root cause. But again, it's one of those things where the plebs apparently can't have this information. I was a victim. I was going to heal myself. If I didn't show how I did it and people caught on that my personality came back and I'm good again, I'm lifting heavy again, I can squat again, I no longer look like a cripple, and I'm hiding that information, people are threatening to take their lives in my DM box. I'm just going to blurt out what I did. It is what it is. That's my personal health journey that resulted in me reversing an incurable disease via Google. I don't take credit for it. It's the biohacking community that pulled it off. There are tons of people suffering at a degree that I can't even fucking explain right to try and showcase to someone who hasn't experienced it. And I know those people suffering definitely just got a little relief of hope and a little blurt of fire on them, because one day in that hell is horrid. When it starts stacking up into months, you're going to lose it. I don't give a fuck who you are. It's literal torture. It's insane. Bon Jordan, 4347. I'm a new reviewer and I don't hate nor love you. I came across your channel because I plan to learn how to get on dosages of steroids. I've been training for 7-8 years. Been training 2 years now. Training for about 7-8 years. Been training 2 years now. Okay. I stay watching all your content because you're a pretty cool guy and an avid gym goer as myself. With little to no filter. Much love and God bless, brother. Much love to you, man. You know, I don't really feel like I hate these fake clout personalities, right? Especially now that I have my personality back. You know, it's like when you create one of those characters and then you got to meet someone like me and then it's got to be recorded. It's just like, you know, I get that they trend faster and everything, but man, I can't have a filter, right? It's just not authentic. I like to be an authentic, polarizing person. That allows you to be authentic and polarizing, and we probably would form a better friendship than being half-ass fake with each other. And I'm with you. You know, I've been heavily pressured, obviously, the past year to tone it down. I'm not toning it down. I'm done. You know, my fucks to give are negative at this point. It didn't go the other way. You know, I truly feel like Darth Vader in the fucking, you know, the suit that's all fucked up. You know, my CNS is all fucked up. It's hilarious, right? But my fucks to give are negative, especially, you know, just the battle that only victims will understand and how many years that just takes off your soul. Like, I feel so much older and it's only been a year. So much love, man. I hope you enjoy this comeback energy, and we're going to be definitely bringing this channel back on track this year. Great to hear about your frequent vlog uploads. We're all rooting for you. That'll take off. It's awesome to see a natural smile come through the video, brother. For a future log video, it'd be cool to hear about your natty versus enhanced spirits on bodybuilding and how they differed, plus what you took when you were natty week in and week out in your nutrition routine. So yeah, natural bodybuilding, all based on progressive strength, volume of compound movements. You have to constantly be strong at all the compound movements, do very minimal accessory work, and it's all about facilitating perfect recovery. This will probably require you lifting around 3 to 4 times a week as you get stupid strong and be able to have those off days to recover the CNS so you can do it all over again. Those are what the best natural bodybuilders, in my opinion, are doing. And it's a lot of like hybrid, almost powerlifting type shit. And that's what I did to build my strength base before becoming enhanced. When I was natural, you know, my diet, my metabolism was extremely hyper fast. I just basically ate all day. And when I mean that, I mean that. Like, I just ate till I was sick and barely could gain weight. That's how tough it was for me personally. And as far as your nutrition routine, yeah, I was just binging food straight up. It wasn't no routine or anything. I feel like dudes completely underestimate how much food they got to put down to start making that scale move if they have a hyper fast metabolism. Personally, I completely understood basal metabolic rate, and I understood that I completely, redid my basal metabolic rate being a long distance runner. I used to be able to eat fast food and not gain a pound, like shit tons of fast food, like we would have food eating contests. And I knew that was going to be hard to offset, and I wanted to be a big dude later in my life, I wanted to have a physique. I wanted to be a big dog in quotation marks and go in that direction versus stay a skinny runner my whole life. And that, because I did the long distance running, I require 5,000 to 6,000 calories a day to start offsetting that metabolism. The sheer difference in your cognitive ability is astounding. As someone who has watched your content for years and has seen many different personas from you, it's great to see you rise from hell's ashes, so to speak. Happy for you, Russo. You should be super proud. Keep it up. Love the vlogs. Zach, thank you so much. I appreciate all my OGs weighing in like that. You rode with me for a long time. I wasn't faking that bullshit. I was seriously ill. And yeah, it makes me so happy. Like, it made me happy when Collin said that I'm back. It makes me happy when you say I'm back. And I've been getting a lot of that. And it's been very emotional. And you can see that tone pitch that I'm not playing that off. I'm ducking that emotion right now to continue doing this fucking commentary. But yeah, it's been a lot of that. I sincerely appreciate it. And I'm blessed. I hope I can pass those blessings on by showing what I did if you're suffering in that. And the actual road out. Because it's not easy road out. Meaning, you have to go backwards to go forwards with that cure protocol. You got to crash. I crashed. That's the only way out. That's the only way that makes sense according to science. But again, the real people will get out of that hell. And because you rode with me, Zach, and other guys rode with me, I get to come out pretty unscathed. I get to give that info on. Everyone's happy. And we definitely changed some lives over here on this little channel. For sure. I already know it. It brings me so much joy seeing laughing and happiness from you. Last year was so rare seeing any type of happiness for you. You're amazing. Looking forward to see you get better and better. Sincerely appreciate it. Yeah, it was impossible for me to experience happiness. The brain damage, I wasn't, there. I was a vegetable. So I tried tried multiple things to get happiness, but yeah. So glad you're the only person to basically cure this. That's an amazing achievement. I'll say it like this. It's an amazing achievement, but it's like one of those things where I'm looked like as crazy, for sure. It's one of those things where it's like, did I really want to publicly announce I'm the first, other than to spark hope and to spark the race to build a protocol that works to get out of that? Because, man, I wouldn't wish that shit on anyone, dude. It's just one of those things where you are mind blown that people suffer from this for multiple years on end and how that's not dealt with type shit. So, yeah, I personally love the achievement for the bodybuilding and biohacking community that it was figured out over here in this community. I train jiu-jitsu 5 to 6 times a week. I know I need to lift, but I can't prioritize lifting. Any suggestions? Schedule 6 foot, 100 kg, 103 kg, rolling for 13 years. Thanks, Russo. Yeah, if you've been rolling for 13 years, I assume that you just want a little bit more mass when you're rolling. The problem is, it's tough, That's why I always joke trying to get back on the mat. It's like, nope. It's either like, you're in the gym or on the mat. And I've had friends pull it off. They only lift twice a week. And then they really watch their central nervous systems going back on the mat. I would definitely not go on the mat all discombobulated from powerlifting and shit, because that's prone to injury, right? That's when you're going to get injured. That's when John Jones got injured. He probably did some lifting and then did that grappling. We all know how sparring and rolling goes at the end of practice, so I would definitely watch it, but my suggestion would be you're in a lifting phase, and then you go back to rolling, and then maybe you find 1-2 days a week. But I think anymore, and you're still going to roll, the injury, the proneness to injury is there. So, I don't know. I've always, my friends who roll, they fall in love with rolling. They stop going to the gym. My one friend, Dakota, who's currently, a blue belt going on a brown belt. I don't think he's been rolling as long as you, but he figured out 2 days a week, and then the rest he rolls, and that works for him. he's not hardcore powerlifting. He's not hardcore building strength volume, which would directly transfer onto the mat. That's where I'm saying, like, if you want the actual strength and size, you're going to have to do compound movements for heavy volume. That's going to tax your CNS. I wouldn't want to see you rolling constantly on a taxed CNS, because not only is it not recovering, but you're injury prone. If someone's being a dick on the mat that day and they expose that, then you end up with a John Jones situation where something pops that shouldn't have popped because your CNS is already in a compromised state and you're putting in fight or flight rolling. So I think 2 days a week max. I think you should go look up Johnny Candido and do his powerlifting protocol, and that will directly transfer onto the mat. I would not do no bodybuilding shit. I would straight powerlift, because that's going to directly impact your performance rolling. It's traumatic, and it completely consumed your whole world for like a year. Who wouldn't be talking about it constantly? But yeah, I struggle with it, never leaving my mind. I randomly go on monologues in my car to myself about the situation all the time, about how shit the medical system is, about how Lion's Mane isn't safe, about how absurd the situation is, etc. I think that once you start to get really immersed in normal life again, your thought tracks will start to slowly normalize. It was like that for me when I came off anxiety depersonalization when I was in high school. I think about it every day for years. Now that I'm about it maybe like once every few months, personally trying to catch myself getting lost in thought about the situation or monologuing and then changing the subject has really helped me not engage with this topic. Anyways, I'm glad to hear you're completely back, man. Your comeback was really a storybook, in my opinion. Most people won't know what it's like. So for whatever reason it's worth, I think you're real as fuck for beating this in the way you did. Hey, man, like, this is like what's so crazy about my comment section. Like, I get these elaborate, detailed, extreme passion comments. You know, it's crazy. You know, just thank you. Yeah, like, I'll say it like this, you know, it put a lot of pressure on me as the quotation marks biohacker, right? I had that, you know, I just, you know, moved into this house. This was like my first, like, I always lived way, 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 way below my means in trap houses. I was never really about, you know, building a lifestyle around anything, but I wanted like a little platform for me to really push my personal brand more. And immediately I got that shit right when I came in this house. So there was that pressure. But at the end of the day, you know, I'm talking about it so much because it needs awareness. You had to deal with it. There are people that do not recover, straight up. There's a lot of people that don't recover, and it took me a very, as you know, extreme protocol to reverse it. And it's just one of those things where if I had a friend that was suffering from that, you know, I would personally, would want to see them try something drastic instead of suffering and suffering and suffering and suffering and getting used to that. But I don't think about when I wake up anymore. You know, I think about what I missed out on, for sure. It's, as you know, weird to be completely like that for a long period of time. It feels like you missed out on something, and when you come back, it feels like you just nailed this comment, like, dead ass. Like, it feels like, you know, people won't know. It's just one of those like teleportation things, but you're here the whole time type shit. And yeah, I can't keep talking about it. Just like you said, I just direct myself off the path. It's not worth it. I am not a victim. I literally cured it, and I just wanted to ignite some hope, because you know and I know that that shit is hard to explain to an audience. And if someone was suffering in that, how their mental state would be, how my mental state personally was, and that was with the level of knowledge I had, meaning I knew what was going on, and I was still like that. It's one of those things where I wanted to spark hope, but I'm not going to be a dead horse on this channel. This doesn't define me. This is an achievement. This is in my storyline, like the big canon event personally for me. I'm sure you guys have all had canon events where you're like, holy fuck, this is a challenge. That was one of those moments for me, and
It's a moment that will help a lot of people if it reaches them, you know? It's a moment that certain people can relate to a point where they're crying to me in voice messages and shit, and they can see hope. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. They see hope. What's insane is some people believe you, but of course there are ones... What's insane is some people don't believe you, but of course there are ones that do. It's insane that it takes for people to believe you that you're suffering sometimes. It's just you got a croak and you're gone. And then people say, I guess he was telling the truth. Glad you're back. Shout out to the comment, Brian. Sincerely, thank you for the comment. I agree, you know, and the crazy thing, my man, is there's a lot of suicides around those compounds, around that personal syndrome. There's a lot of deaths. Again, it won't be figured out, in my opinion, as far as like a professional medical way. In my opinion, 10, 15 more years it'll be figured out. So, again, if you want to wait for that, go ahead. But, yeah, there's already bodies on bodies on bodies with these compounds. We know how the big P rolls. I'm not a hater of the big P. I use a lot of their stuff. But it's not making money for them to figure out how to cure that. And if it's such an outlier percentage, even though that they suffer to such an extreme degree, it is what it is. And like I said, this is where the biohacking community came in clutch. If these people want help, they just watch that whole playlist, and now they have a full game plan if they want to take it into their own hands and risk it for the biscuit like I did. I don't hear a single bit of narcissism in that video. I actually recall feeling a boost of hope for humanity, how you were crediting people who have helped you, and how so many different discoveries all came together with you being the final piece of the puzzle. I definitely think it's at best to let this go, like Joe Rogan at this point, and not read any negative comments about yourself, or in your case, just ignore them, since you can't not read comments in your case. As for feeling like talking about the horrible experience again and again, I can see how that could be detrimental. Maybe with a therapist would be good, but if you're moving on and don't need a form of therapy, I get that too. I'm glad I did talk to therapy. I've done in my life, at least with the good therapists I've had. I'd say it was necessary to get the point where I'm at, but at a certain point, I just needed to force myself to get moving and start doing things I knew I needed to do. I'm ready and glad to see that you've gone back to a point where you can start progressing again. I'm looking forward to your comeback. I believe your best days on YouTube are just the beginning. Again, may I repeat how insanely, like... I'm so spoiled by my audience, I fucking swear. I don't see comments like this on other channels, you know. You can complain I'm shadow banned all you want. You can't complain the real people are in this comment section. The OGs are here. And yeah, you know, me personally with the bipolar, it's not... I don't like talking about it personally because it just activates that other wiring. I get fired up over it. It's not worth it. And then that turns into a spiral. And personally for me, I'm not saying do this with your relationship, but I've had a very long 12-year relationship, and I feel comfortable spelling in front of my woman if I need to get something off my chest. I'm not saying to do this in every relationship. I'm saying that I have confidence with my girl. I can showcase some weakness from how much strength she's seen from so long and all the things I've overcome, that if I want to unload it on her, she can spell me and tweak me. But I will say that talking about it personally doesn't make me feel better. It makes me process it again. And if there's something that you need to work through, by all means, therapy is definitely there. If you feel like you have to keep going through that pattern, there's something that you haven't come to terms with, or you need to meet at a point, by all means. For me personally, with that specific situation, that was some dark shit, and it is what it is. You know, I feel like the storyline's insane. If you go watch the Cure video, it's just, it is what it is. I can't believe it played out like the way it played out, and there's nothing else to say about it. I've said everything I want to said. I've said everything I wanted to say, and it's like, all right, if I keep revisiting this, it's just a waste of energy. Like you said, you just got a point, laser back in, put the blinders on. If you want to take the blinders off, look around. You know, you're back. Like I said in my last video, I dusted myself off. If that requires talking to someone, by all means. But I feel like with males, you got to put the blinders on, and that just put an edge on you. You know, you have an edge from working through your problems. Other people have edges from working on their problems. But don't sit in therapy was like kind of my angle. I don't really mean to bash therapists. I just think you had good therapists in your life. And from my personal experience based on watching in my life, I have seen therapists put problems in people's heads. I've seen therapists use that book to label them certain things or require them to upsell them shit or to keep them coming back. I'm not saying every therapist is like that. I'm sure a lot of therapists are great. I've personally seen the opposite. If a therapist did that while I was opening up, trying to label a crazy entrepreneurial type character like me, who everyone watching knows there's a bit of craziness to me that won't go away and that's part of my personality. If they see that weighed in on a sensitive subject like that and try to dictate me, that will make me upset. I don't want that. Anyone would suffer through that, no matter if you're crazy like me or not, right? If you're a wild maniac like me, or a complete, safe, never did nothing, you'd still have the same horrible, horrible trauma. Hey Ryan, your microwave is sitting too low and it's not mounted correctly. It needs to be lifted again. Suggest you have your cabinets over the microwave shortening. Height-wise by removing the doors and having the cabinets open shelves. Love the new Ryan Russo program. Take good care of your body. You only have one piece, my brother. Yeah, I thought when I bought this house that microwave was fucked up. There's a code that says your microwave has to be so far away from the range or something like that. Looks like they are very close together right there. Haha. I honestly don't really cook that much on that stove, and that's what I thought. But this deal on this house was too good for what, you know, I needed. AKA I have a soundproofed basement, have an extension. You know, this previous house owner. I'll get even more crazy. This will be the last comment. There's so many comments. I thank you all for the comments. I'm going to try and do more. You guys got to upvote the comments you want to see next time. I'll just do top. I'll just go top. So I'll sort top, and then we'll go like that. So that's how the comments will work moving forward. That way, if people want me to address something, it's not looking like I just skipped over it. But I'll end like this. I didn't even say this in the Cure video. So the OG's watching at the end. I'm not bullshitting. So the previous owner of this house opened up to me right before I bought it because I was young and, you know, I had a long-term girlfriend. He was impressed. He was a business owner. He made wine glasses, all types of glass factory essentially for wine. Really cool. He gave us wine glasses, everything, but he went into the story of this house, and he bought the house with his wife. You know, he was ready to have a family, put the extension on, soundproof the basement. You know, there's a lot of updates on this house compared to the other houses in the neighborhood. Actually made it a tricky house to sell, and only like a YouTuber like me would probably pay for these additions, you know. But he came to me and he's like, yeah, you know, I built the house, finished the additions. I then contracted cancer and I almost passed away in this house. During that time, my wife left me and I just never wanted to live in this house. He just kept the house, bought another house, and, you know, he was just sitting on it, trying to sell it for 2 years. And yeah, is that not weird, right? He almost dies in this house. I move in. I almost die in this house. My girlfriend does not leave me. And just one of those weird quantum events again. And I forgot to mention that in the Cure video. And I thought about that during my battle. You know, I really did. That he didn't have anyone to support him, and how I had all of you to support me. I had my girlfriend to support me. I had my family. And he was just all alone. And that's truly what I'm trying to change, is his energy in this house. That this is all defeated. This is defeated. The energy's different, the vibration is different, and it just all, you can see from my sporadicness, you can see how I am right now. Moving into this week, it's like one of those things where I just want to be completely back to normal output at this point. I feel like a lazy slacker, even though I'm not. Each day I've worked up a little more and more. I actually went to the zoo with my girlfriend this weekend, and we walked all around the zoo. I really pushed it, like I said. And then I trained after. I've been really trying to get fully to 100% so I can showcase that I completely defeated it. And that will happen once I'm squatting 405 for reps again. So again, these vlogs are just getting started. I'm going to narrate more and more on camera. I don't want to really do this style where I read through this way, but each edit's going to get better. I will see you guys in my